What does it feel like to discover where you belong in a family whose history is already etched? How do you construct a life of hope and love when the road ahead is far from defined? These are questions that quietly resonate throughout the journey of Robyn Brown, a woman whose life on Sister Wives is marked by moments of peace, turmoil, and quiet strength. Picture walking into a life in which your decisions are observed by millions, where smiles and tears have significance far greater than the instant. Robyn's tale is not merely about becoming part of an unusual family, it's about creating a place for herself within years of convention, strong attachments, and tangled feelings. It's about the fine line between holding on and letting go, between love and pain, between hope for new beginnings and realities of family tensions. On the surface, Robyn appears to be the youngest wife in a highly complex family, but beneath the surface, her story is far greater, one of healing, growth, and strength. She is a woman who walks stealthily through the battles of jealousy and misunderstanding, who endures legal struggles that rock the very core of her family, and who, in the midst of it all, remains steadfast in her love for her children, her husband, and to finding peace in the storm. What is it that enables you to remain firm when the future is unsure? How do you mend when your family life is fraught with disagreement and public attention? Robyn's story gives us a glimpse into those very questions, questions that we live ourselves with in our own lives. Her tale is not one of perfection. It's one of endurance. It's one of messy, flawed, but very human family. It encourages us to remember that love doesn't always be easy, and that sometimes our greatest struggles are those we wage within our own breasts. As we follow Robyn's journey, we'll find moments of tension and tenderness, hope and heartache. We'll learn what it is to belong to a family that disrupts conventional rules, and how, under pressure, growth and new beginnings are still possible. So come along with me as we enter the realm of Sister Wives and chart the emotional life of Robyn Brown, a tale that is as much about family as it is about self-discovery. With me, you'll discover the courage it takes to love, to forgive, and to move forward. Picture for a moment walking into a life that is entirely alien to anything you ever dreamed, a life of hope and love, but one that will also challenge your heart and your resilience on a daily basis. That's precisely the sort of life Robyn Brown entered into when she joined the Browns on Sister Wives. Robyn wasn't merely joining the Brown family as another wife. No, she was joining a family that had a long and troubled history, one with years of collective memories, strong ties, and more than a few ups and downs. Cody Brown, patriarch of the family, already had 3 wives: Mary, Janelle, and Christine. They had between them produced a big family with many kids. Into this tight-knit and complicated family came Robyn suddenly as the newest member, and everything shifted. From the start, Robyn's journey was far from easy. The other wives had invested years in their relationships with Cody and each other. They had celebrated birthdays, holidays, and milestones together. They had memories and challenges that only those who experienced them could relate to. And here was Robyn, new to the family, new to this lifestyle, and attempting to find her own niche in it all. Being the newcomer also presented its own set of issues. It meant entering into a sensitive balance of feelings, pasts, and expectations. How do you fit into a family already so well established? How do you gain respect and affection from people who have been in your husband's life for such a long time? These were things Robyn had to deal with, quietly and courageously. Sister Wives fans tended to view Robyn as the youngest wife, the one who kept things to herself. She wasn't one to express every feeling or thought on television. Rather, she tended to come across as calm, measured, and reserved, attributes that would sometimes make her come off as aloof or impenetrable. But behind that calm facade was a woman struggling to juggle a multitude of roles at once: a wife, a mother, and a member of a very exposed family. Being married to Cody Brown has its own set of pressures. First, there's the extremely public nature of their union. With the cameras and the reality show format, each argument, each tear, and each happy moment is filmed and put out on display for millions of spectators to behold. What that meant was Robyn's personal life was often anything but private. Each smile or scowl was picked apart by fans and critics. This added an extra layer of stress that many people outside the spotlight might never understand. But what made Robyn's experience really unique was that she had to balance not only with Cody, but with the other wives as well. There were the normal sensations of jealousy and insecurity, feelings any person would experience when joining a family already formed for years. Robyn had to learn how to navigate those feelings as well as establish trust and rapport with her co-wives. And it wasn't all about relationships with the other women. Robyn also had to adapt to being a mom in this unconventional family setup. She and Cody shared children, and there was happiness and joy, as well as added responsibility. Having children in a plural family is tricky, particularly when tension within the family often runs high. Robyn needed to balance motherhood with the requirements of her marriage and the spotlight. One of the most challenging aspects of Robyn's initial time was just trying to feel safe in her new position. When you come into a family where there is so much history, it's not always easy to believe that you really belong. There's a fine line of showing yourself worthy and being welcomed. Robyn had to gain not only Cody's affection, but also the acceptance of the other wives and their kids. Throughout the early seasons of Sister Wives, viewers saw glimpses of this struggle. Robyn's quiet moments sometimes spoke volumes. Whether it was a subtle glance, a small sigh, or a quiet tear, those moments showed a woman who was trying to hold everything together. Her strength was quiet but undeniable. It was a big step for Robyn marrying Cody, but even more of that, it's joining the family, a family with deep roots, strong traditions, complicated emotions, and histories yet to be untangled. It was an inside life many viewers found interesting, but barely any could understand. Robyn's journey challenges us to consider what it is to belong to a family, in whatever way. How do we fit in? How do we cope with feeling like outsiders? And above all, how do we keep hope alive when the road is unclear? In spite of it all, Robyn has demonstrated an incredible capacity to adapt. With time, she has become increasingly at home in her job, and has started to reveal more of herself to the viewer. This has enabled viewers to view her not only as the new wife but as a strong, compassionate woman with ambitions, desires, and frustrations of her own. For most viewers, Robyn's story is universal. Not because they are members of a plural family, but because all of us have experienced times of change and uncertainty. Everyone has known what it feels like to struggle to get their feet on the ground in a new set of circumstances, to desire to be loved and accepted, and to juggle conflicting demands on their time and feeling. In lots of ways, Robyn's experience is a reminder that family is complicated. It's imperfect, it's messy, it's sometimes even painful. But it's also full of love, full of growth, and the ability to begin anew, no matter where you've come from. As we watch Robyn navigate her life on Sister Wives, we observe a woman who is subtly courageous. She walks into the unknown with hope and courage to handle whatever lies ahead. And though her journey is full of hurdles, she keeps going day by day. Over time, Robyn Brown's bond with Cody intensified. With him she had children, forming a nuclear family of her own among the vast Brown extended family. Those precious moments of joy, the delivery of a child, the giggles of children, the mutual aspirations for the future are sacred and most significant. But these happy moments were accompanied by multifaceted emotions, entwined into the very essence of their extended family life. Being a member of a plural family, or a polygamous family, is not like most people's family experience. It has a unique complexity, one with lots of different emotions. There's love for sure, but jealousy too, misunderstandings, and occasionally hurt feelings. These feelings are not found in any family, but when the relationships are as entwined and public as they are for the Browns, they can be particularly difficult. Robyn often found herself in challenging positions where she had to reconcile her affection for Cody with the family dynamics that surrounded her. The Browns had been together for years, and had their lives and shared memories that Robyn was only starting to have. The other wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine, had developed relationships with Cody and among themselves over a long period. Their past was profound, and occasionally the earlier wounds reopened when new issues arose. The most challenging aspect of Robyn's journey was simply navigating these complicated relationships. It wasn't merely her marriage to Cody, it was becoming a part of an established family system, where emotions were multi-layered and at times fragile. There was a history with each wife, a relationship she shared with Cody, and a point of view about their family life. Robyn needed to honor that history, yet also carve out a niche for herself. Other times, the show really nailed moments when the tension was palpable but implicit, little glances shared, silent moments of hesitation in conversations, or instances when feelings were hovering just under the surface. These quiet battles spoke volume. They presented a family struggling to keep their act together while grappling with hard emotion. It wasn't always simple for Robyn to be the new wife. When you become a part of a family with years of experience, there is an unspoken feeling of distance. People will wonder if you really fit in, or if you'll last. Robyn had to show her devotion, not just to Cody but to the entire family. And although there were some tender and encouraging moments, others involved emotional challenges that put her to the test. A typical emotion in plural families is jealousy, and it's understandable to feel so when your spouse gives love and attention to other people. Robyn needed to learn to accept this, containing her own emotions while also being understanding about the emotions of her co-wives. Meanwhile, she needed to construct healthy relationships with Mary, Janelle, and Christine, providing a setting where everyone can peacefully live together. These relationships were a precarious balancing act. At times there was warmness and concern, other times there was distance or tension. The dynamic changed with circumstances, conversations, and family activities. Robyn was required to be adaptable, tolerant, and resilient. In addition to dealing with the other wives, Robyn also had to contend with the day-to-day issues of marriage and parenthood. Children are always a large responsibility, and bringing them up within a family that has high emotions at times presents an added complication. She had to stay centered on providing her children with love and stability, even when the family as a whole was complex. It's necessary to note that Robyn's experience wasn't all drama or conflict. There were genuine moments of joy and development. She and Cody created a life together, shared moments, and navigated issues. Their relationship evolved in its own manner, with its own pace. Sister Wives fans who followed the years of Robyn's life tended to observe a woman learning, adapting, and evolving. She was learning to express herself, to stand up for what she wanted, and to speak truthfully about her emotion. That kind of emotional development takes time and bravery. Through all this, Robyn showed resilience. She carried the weight of family tensions with quiet dignity, trying to maintain harmony while also protecting her own heart. That's not an easy task for anyone, especially when you're living life in front of the cameras and a worldwide audience. What most viewers won't observe is how much work it's like to deal with all these relationships in the background. Plural families need constant communication, negotiation, and forgiveness sometimes. Robyn had it hard because she didn't just have to deal with her own emotions but also the emotions of a number of other adults and dozens of children. And yet, at times it does feel as though the Browns is one huge drama, but there is also a deep passion for love and acceptance. Robyn's narrative is a reminder that regardless of how screwed up life becomes, the desire to feel accepted and appreciated is a universal. Ultimately, balancing love and family strife is about finding harmony within a system that is multifaceted and sometimes at odds with itself. For Robyn, that was about learning to be patient with herself, with Cody, and with the other wives. It was about grasping that relationships change and that family ties can be both source of strength and test. Robyn's experience during these years teaches us something valuable. Family is not always perfect, but it's always worth the fight. Even when emotions are running high and tensions are boiling over, love can still find a way to emerge. And sometimes it's in those hard times that real strength is created. One of the most dramatic and passionate chapters in Robyn Brown's experience on Sister Wives was the legal battles over the family property called Coyote Pass in Arizona. It was not ordinary land. It was a future home for all of the Brown family, a place that represented hope, togetherness, and a new beginning for all. For years, the Browns wished to construct new houses on this expansive property. It was to be a destination where every wife and their kids could have their own area yet still be close as a family. The land was more than property. It was a commitment to being together, a method to keep their special family as close as possible. Yet, as the years went by, conflicts started to happen. Coyote Pass's vision was no longer so plain and so clear. Issues regarding ownership of land, how it would be portioned, and the future caused tension among the family members. This was particularly between Cody and several of his wives. Mary and Janelle, however, sparked serious legal issues over who owned and would divide the property. Their issues created a courtroom struggle that shook the Brown family to its very foundation. Instantly, a family that had always attempted to demonstrate solidarity was compelled to deal with far-reaching divisions in public. It was a trying and stressful experience for Robyn. She was in the middle of a storm, not only receiving legal sparring but also shouldering the emotional burden of the dispute. It was not merely a battle for land. It was a battle of trust, loyalty, equity, and family destiny. The cameras captured these moments, and the audience could see the frustration and heartbreak that occurred behind the scenes. There were arguments, tears, and times when it appeared they would never reunite. Robyn's situation was particularly precarious. As the legal wife and an integral member of the family, she stood to lose everything. But aside from the legality of things, this fight was an emotional test. She was attempting to defend her family, maintain her marriage with Cody, and maintain harmony among the wives, even when the stress was suffocating. In the midst of these challenges, Robyn demonstrated great resilience. In spite of the heartbreak and stress, she stuck by her family and attempted to be a soothing presence. Her strength was exhibited in trying times when patience and empathy were most important. The courtroom fights also showed how messy family relationships can get when there are issues that involve the law. What could have begun as a joint dream became an ordeal of loyalties and boundaries. Everyone had their own ideas about what was right and fair, and these frequently conflicted. The Coyote Pass conflict revealed more profound issues between the family, such as trust and hurt that had been building for decades. It was no longer just a matter of land. It was one of recognition, respect, and the respective roles of each wife in the family. For home viewers, these scenes provided a glimpse of Robyn that was vulnerable yet strong. She wasn't just dealing with the outside force of a court battle but the inside battles of family stress as well. The history of Coyote Pass is a reminder that family is not easy or straightforward. When feelings, background, and the law come together, the outcome can be exquisite. It also reminds us, though, that even at times when things seem most difficult, human beings can choose to maintain hope, reaching out. Robyn's experience throughout this trying chapter is a testament to her character. She weathered the courtroom wars, the public haranguing, and the emotional wear and tear with aplomb. She stayed centered in her vision of her family's future and did her best to preserve relations even when it seemed unlikely. The Browns' legal drama serves as a reminder that love and family often require patience, and disagreements can test bonds, but they can also lead to growth and understanding if handled with care. While the family progressed, Robyn in this episode became an inspiring testament to resilience. She reminded viewers that no matter how difficult life becomes, holding firm and remaining steadfast to what truly counts, family and love can guide us even the most trying of tempests. Life is seldom a straight line, and Robyn Brown's path after wives is a strong testament to the validity of that. In spite of all of the struggles she has experienced, be they through family conflicts, media glare, or her journey ultimately becomes one of healing and growth. Through the years, Robyn has discovered her voice and her power in ways that so strongly to so many. When Robyn first arrived in the Brown family, she was quieter, more reserved. She kept much of her inner life close, maybe as a means of protecting herself from the inevitabilities of belonging to a family that operated. But as time went on and the family drama played out on TV, Robyn grew more open. The public has seen her share her feelings, struggles with honesty, allowing us to the woman behind the quiet. This sort of vulnerability requires courage, particularly when you realize millions of eyes are upon you and sometimes judging. It isn't simple to expose difficulty for the world to. Nevertheless, Robyn exemplified vulnerability. She demonstrated that it's acceptable not to know every response, and that development stems from confronting our fears and unknowns head-on. Her story reminds each of us that every family experience, no family is perfect, regardless of how things might appear. And sometimes, those difficulties are even more apparent when cameras are present, because they catch moments of tension, misunderstanding, or hurt. But even in the most situations can occur. It takes patience, understanding, and most importantly, love. Robyn has illustrated the shifting relationships with her husband Cody and with her co-wives. Not everything is immediately resolved, but there were times of forgiveness and forays into mutual respect. Healing in a plural family's complex. It requires patience and effort from each involved. Robyn experienced how trying, even when it seems like progress is slow. Aside from the family situation, Robyn has made an effort to prioritize the welfare of her. Being a mother is most integral to her life, and she has worked diligently to give her stable, caring. This commitment particularly considers complexities of the families and the public glare. Raising kids in such an unconventional family calls for special care and attention. Robyn has been careful to give her all the love and care they require, and at the same time, help them grasp the realities of their lives. Her life as a mother has served as a source of inspiration and ahead. Concurrently, Robyn has also taken care of her development. The twists and turns of her life have molded her into a woman who has a clear idea about about what she, not mere in marriage, but in life. She has learned to assert herself, speak up about her, and look for happiness on her. This empowering teaches us that even stance we have the ability to evolve. Robyn's journey attests to the fact that healing is not necessarily sometimes it's setbacks and battles. It brings about new beginnings take many. For Robyn, perhaps translate in her marriage, finding inner the family, or living own interests and aspirations outside of the family. Whatever the future holds, one thing she is no longer the same woman who crept the Brown family's back. Her growth also prompts consider the possibility of their own lives. How do we deal with adversity? How do we recover the past? And how do we discover new roads when ones that once no longer for us? Robyn's story teaches us that no matter what we face in life, come stronger, heal, and start over. This particular point for anyone who has a family challenge or struggle. As Sister Wives keeps going, lots of us entering what happened with Robyn's life. Will she peace and happiness that she? How will her life or family? All these keep us guessing. Ultimately, Robyn's growth and needs are not only they're everyone's. They remind us that life is growing or finding no matter how difficult the road. As the ahead, Robyn Brown's saga or wives. The Brown family, as good as it is, can sometimes unparalleled ride, one that is followed by many. But amid that clouded family, Robyn is still part. Someone who navigates several her life. Robyn's existence is not merely wife or mother. It is also about herself. That is significant because how she has always. She is a woman, family, yet simultaneous as an. That balancing act is not always simple. Family life, her emotion full of challenge, love, resin. It touches who understand that life is family are often they bring comfort, but also moments struggle. Robyn is that reality that feels genuine. One of the strongest that Robyn is about living through tough times is never, and Robyn has struggled from strength family in the public eye. It's of it all. She has demonstrated fast. Her courage is quiet and honest, not flashy. It's the kind of that may stand up to Robyn. Also, the strength family, even the Brown family is special, complex, but at its it with love. Robyn's path serves as a mirror that size and that requires grounding. As the wives, Robyn, there are still many what the promises perhaps, but also possible growth for followers saga and fasten. They see Robyn the highs of life, her they and wait to develop what new and how Robyn to look forward she could further develop her about her to love, chase, set her, or she develop robust throughout the whatever the Robyn provides inspiring model. She demonstrates that in life story inspires accept and pass. It should also be added Robyn the quiet and the Brown. This has an express of what thus how Robyn navigates family across those have to while respecting Robyn's falls, but also ultimately Robyn Brown. It's one of them navigate trials, a life of love. It teaches all or what battles. So as we keep up with Robyn wives called her tale is chapter. Thanks for watching about If you subscribe and let us I'd also for Robyn.